Okay, so we're going to do some handheld work and talk more about the changes that I've made to this 1960s Schoenhut toy piano. Starting from the top, literally, I made this hinged. Now, and please, this is all from me, and I was doing this as a hack and slash style, so none of this is very nice looking. All this felt looks like ass, right? Trust that I understand that this is not as pretty as it could be. It's a vibe. Work with me. Anyway, so this was initially tacked down with nails, and I opened it up and gave it a hinge so I could, change. Well, both because the volume is louder with the top open, so that's kind of nice. You can have some control there. But also because I wanted to access the keys and work on it more easily, because that's not so easy when the top is tacked down. The next thing I did is I replaced the Schoenhut plate, right, which normally is just a piece of plywood that goes across the front with the company name on it. I replaced that with this, which is just a piece of, this is like clear lighting gels and hot glue, and a piece of that perforated aluminum that you can buy at the hardware store. Pardon my gross band-aid. I cut myself on the finger while cleaning a knife. So this, I put this in the front because I wanted to show just a more interesting vibe. I wanted to have some lights showing through it. I figured that would be fun, and it has been pretty fun. So we got that. You also see over here there's some screws. This is a clock chime from a like an old like Mantle clock. I don't really use this at all, but that's there to shake and rattle and do some stuff. I also mentioned that I put a meditation chime on it. Well, actually, it's not a real meditation chime. This is a bar handle that was attached to a heated stir plate from a piece of old chemistry equipment. And I had another meditation chime that was mounted to a wooden base, and I essentially threw this in the drill, polished it, and then made a little base for it to make a similar chime out of this. And then I hung it upside down from the piano because I thought it was a good place to put it, I guess. I'm also not 100% sure what those markings exactly mean. I do not know what IR 2843 means, but I don't believe this was made in 1943 or 1928. I believe it was made in the 60s based on the styling. Some of them have a different, more elaborate, like turned wooden leg, but this one does not. So anyway, from there, of course, I've painted all over this thing, and then the back of it, this is not very pretty, pardon me. As part of doing the kind of reinforcing of it and adding hinges, I covered the entire back. There's a large, massive wood block in there. You can also see, I think I must have doodled a little smiley face on this when I was painting it. But either way, to get the hinges to work, I had to add wood blocking, this thickness. And so, but that also gives a much more solid platform for the tines to vibrate against. So that's kind of, a double duty there. And yeah, so basically, one last thing I'll show you. Super annoying to do it, but I will, because you guys deserve it. So here you can see my spring, right? So I mentioned that I have a spring under there. Come on, focus. There. So I put that spring in there, in that clay. And again, like I said, it didn't really work that well. You can see how the keys rest on, this little piece of cut hardboard. That's the pivot. And the key has a little, fulcrum, little hollow there. And so that just kind of loosely rests on top of this. And when you press the key, as I find my finger, that little, this little piece there, when you push the key up, it forces that little end to go down, which then forces the striker to go up. And these are just random colors of plastic. We've got green and different blues and black and purple. You can see in here, like I mentioned, there's some little copper tape. This is used for making stained glass, and also sometimes for like soldering and grounding stuff, but mostly stained glass. You tape the edges of the glass with it and then solder over it. But yeah, just all kinds of random colors. Don't look that great. You can see here the sound block in the back. This is a metal bar. kind of rusty. It's got spray paint in it too. It's bolted in. You can actually take the bolts out and just remove the entire piece. I think you could probably adjust it maybe, but they're just like pressed hard into here, like a friction fit. I don't really want to mess with that because once it's not tight, it's going to rattle and make bad sounds. So I'm saying all that because the only real way I have to correct the pitch of these notes would be to change the tine, to either shorten it or to lengthen it, or maybe possibly take a little piece out of it, but I don't think that works with this kind of tine. Sometimes for certain chimes, like xylophone chimes or glockenspiel chimes, they'll grind the back out to remove volume and kind of fine tune it. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but either way, I don't think it'll work here. So anyway, that's part 2, a look at some of the things I've done to my Schoenhut toy piano.